The recent attacks in Paris have sparked worldwide concern over terrorism. Now France is preparing to face the issue by deploying over 10,000 soldiers. Almost 5,000 of these soldiers will be sent to watch over Jewish sites. French Prime Minister Manuel Valls says that synagogues, Jewish schools, but also mosques will be protected. Journalists, cartoonists, and policemen were among those that died last week. The violence started at the Charlie Hebdo magazine building, concluding with a deadly hostage situation in a Jewish deli. This is the deadliest attack in Europe since 2005. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry spoke this weekend about America's support of France and freedom of expression.
The relationship with France is not about one day or one particular moment. It's an ongoing, long-time relationship that is deeply, deeply based in the shared values, and particularly the commitment that we share to freedom of expression.
Worldwide protests honoring the Charlie Hebdo victims united millions of people this weekend. Paris itself had 1 million people take part in a unity march, the largest demonstration in French history. Over 40 government officials from all around the world arrived in France to show their support. Many of those in attendance are looking to put a fight to anti-Semitism and terrorism.
Why is this important to me? I experienced anti-Semitism during the occupation. I was alone at 13. They massacred my entire family. A few months ago, they've again threatened Jews with death in France, where I was born and where I had lived. It's unbelievable what's happening.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was one of the leaders in attendance. He was scheduled to meet with French President Francois Hollande over the weekend regarding threats in the Jewish community. In the past, Netanyahu has urged Jews in France to come to Israel. He has offered an open arms policy. With her lover and 2 possible accomplices dead, Hayat Boumediene is on the run. She is considered a suspect in the terror attack that shook Paris last week. Boumediene was religiously wed to the Jewish deli killer Ahmadi Kalabi. She was alerted to authorities as a possible threat when Turkey's Risk Assessment Center flagged her at an airport. Turkish authorities had tracked her to Syria's border earlier last week before the attacks. A French security source says that Boumediene is most likely no longer in France. It is believed she is making her way to Turkey in an attempt to go back to Syria. A big discovery in the Java Sea. Here's Gary Franchi with that story.
Well, that's right, Amanda. A big find indeed. After what seemed like an endless search, the black box for Flight 8501 has been found. This is a major step forward in finding out exactly what caused the airliner to crash. The plane lost contact with air traffic control in December, just moments after requesting a higher altitude. Now, this black box contains the flight recorder holding the plane's physical data. A second black box holding the cockpit voice recorder has been spotted, but may prove very difficult to retrieve because it's buried under a heavy wing, and divers will have to use airbags to lift the wreckage off of the second box. Now, the operations coordinator for the search and rescue mission has said that the left side of the plane seems to have disintegrated, causing some to believe that an explosion may have occurred.
Investigators do say that it may take up to a month of collecting data before they come to a conclusion. The deadliest massacre yet caused by militant group Boko Haram occurred this week. It is estimated up to 2,000 people were murdered in the Nigerian town of Baga. The attackers chased after terrified residents and burned down the homes of those hiding inside. Boko Haram continues to occupy the town while bodies continue to litter the streets. An official for Amnesty International explains.
Receiving reports that people who have gone to the village are walking over dead bodies, men, women, children, basically signs of an indiscriminate attack and certainly a major war crime by Boko Haram.
Since 2009, Boko Haram has continuously been to blame for violent attacks in Nigeria. The group is asking for the government to enforce a stricter form of Sharia law. The Nigerian military says that the attack should convince people all over the world that Boko Haram is the evil all must collaborate to end. Nigerian military has said that they are working to stop the group, but many residents say that simply isn't true. Residents of Baga say that not one Nigerian soldier has stepped into the town since Boko Haram's takeover.
The evidence does indicate a strange lack of a willingness or an ability to protect Nigerian civilians, and it's very, very disturbing, and it'll have implications for the whole country.
Over 11,000 people have been killed by Boko Haram since 2005, and another million have been displaced. An exciting day for children in Pakistan as they return to school. It has been over a month since an attack at a Peshawar school left 134 children dead. Most schools throughout the country have been shut down in the aftermath of the attack. Pakistan has been under constant violence from militants, Peshawar being one of the most violent areas. Pakistan's Army Chief General Raheel Sharif traveled to Peshawar for a meeting with the parents of students. A security official said that the general individually met with parents, assuring them that terrorists will be eliminated. Some parents stayed away from the meeting altogether, still grieving from the loss of children. Lebanese security forces raided a prison this week in an investigation linked to the Islamic State. The prison was searched and inmates were moved after a suicide attack was found linked to inmates. Intercepted telephone calls linked the prisoners to the recent attacks in Tripoli. A large number of high-profile Islamic militants are housed in the prison in Building D. In an attempt to break up the prisoners, international security forces transferred multiple prisoners out of Building D and into Building B. This comes as an attempt to break up possible future plotting. A statement from the prison said that due to the transfer, some detainees started fires in protest, but the situation is under control. South Korea is hoping for new talks with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. South President Park Geun-hye said this week that there is no preconditions to start a conversation. Park said, "My position is that to ease the pain of division and to accomplish peaceful unification." Although the president may be hopeful, a conversation doesn't look to be in her future anytime soon. The North and South have only met twice since the end of World War II. Just last Friday, a call to the North was rejected regarding talks with the South. No reason for the refusal was given.